Hey everybody, I am Rachel. Welcome to the channel or welcome back. Thanks for being here. Do you ever look around your house and think, how did I end up with so much stuff? I swear my house isn't messy. It is just full of things I thought I needed, things I might need someday, and things I definitely don't need, but somehow they're still here. And after spending hours watching dozens of decluttering videos for motivation, I have realized something. I am overthinking the hell out of this. Honestly, my decluttering journey has been wildly unsuccessful so far. I mean, yeah, I have gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but I still have a lot. And I realize that I am so overthinking this, which I think a lot of us tend to do. I'm grappling with the guilt of having spent the money. I'm struggling with all the questions. Does it spark joy? Have I used it in the last 6 months to a year? Do I need it? Can I get it again in 20 minutes if I do? What color scheme do I want to stick to for my clothes? All the things decluttering influencers talk about. And while my ADHD brain is overwhelmed by all these questions, I've realized something else. There's a lot of different advice out there. I was listening to all of the options, and suddenly I was like, you know, it's okay to have an extra set of bed sheets. It's okay to have more than one towel per person or backups of toothpaste, deodorants, ketchup, whatever. It's okay to buy my paper towels in bulk and have extra dish towels as long as you aren't filling your space and going totally overboard. Can I have 4 dish towels in a drawer? Yes. Do I need dish towels for every season or holiday? No. But on the other hand, why do I have 20 pairs of black leggings? I work out at home in my basement. Hell, I could literally work out in my pajamas and no one would care. Side note, I have. Yet here we are. Do I need all these? Absolutely not. It's just another example of the mindless accumulation that I am trying to get away from. It's about compromise, people, and figuring out what works for you. I think that's why so many of us get so paralyzed when it comes to getting rid of our stuff. For example, almost every video that I have watched is like, I stopped buying souvenirs. Well, for me, souvenirs are mostly t-shirts and hoodies from the places that I go. I love t-shirts and hoodies, and I am not going to stop buying them or get rid of one when I bring in another. We don't need to get rid of everything. We just need to bring our homes down to a level that doesn't stress us, that doesn't make us look around and go, ugh, you know? Hey, quick side note while I am editing. If you are enjoying my chaos or my content, give me a follow and I promise to keep overthinking things so you don't have to. And if this helped, hit that like button so YouTube knows it's worth recommending, please. Then tell me what's one thing that you know you should probably get rid of, but you just can't, or in my case, won't. Drop it in the comments so I know I am not alone in this one. I've also had to come to terms with the fact that some donations just end up in a landfill anyway, despite our best intentions. I asked someone that I know who works at a well-known donation center, and she admitted that, yes, unfortunately, sometimes employees don't want to go through the donation bags, so they do just toss them in a dumpster. That rumor is true. That bothers me, but I've realized that at some point, everything ends up in a landfill. I already made the mistake of buying it. That ship has sailed. Now I just need to get it out of my house. The best thing I can do moving forward is to be a more mindful consumer, because overthinking this is only paralyzing my decluttering. Instead of overcomplicating things, I have started asking myself one simple question. Can I live without this? If the answer is yes, it's time to let it go. And honestly, the answer is yes, a lot more than it's no. That said, I still want to make sure some of my stuff goes somewhere it will actually be used or appreciated when possible. Now, take my wedding china, for example. I have never used it. So if I'm going to donate it, I want it to go someplace that matters to me. I recently stopped by a local resale shop that benefits an animal rescue, and I asked them what they accept. Now, they will take my china, but they will not take these tubs of figurines and collectibles that my mom gave me and my kids. Now, see, my mom loved her knickknacks, and she wanted to share that love with us. But truthfully, I hate knickknacks. My kids hate knickknacks. They get dusty and they feel like visual clutter to me. And they're just not my thing. And apparently, even this shop doesn't want them. They take up too much space, and since they allow dogs inside, little stuff like this just gets broken. But they suggested I check eBay, so I did. And turns out there are plenty of people who do love this stuff. So I've decided to either try selling them or maybe have a garage sale, and then I'm just going to donate the proceeds. I'm not trying to make money here, I am just making sure that they go to someone who actually wants them and maybe avoid a landfill. And honestly, I think that would make my mom happy, and keep her from maybe haunting me over them. For my garage sale, I've decided to make it kind of interesting. I'm going to pick 3 local charities, and I'm going to set up a ballot box. Anyone who buys something gets a vote, and the winning charity will get the cash. That way, someone gets an item they actually want, the charity benefits, and the stuff leaves my house. Win, win, win. If it doesn't sell, dumpster it is. Is a garage sale a pain in the ass? Yes. Do I enjoy them? No. But if I do this right and stay a mindful consumer, I won't have to do it again. A little inconvenience now is worth never dealing with this clutter again. Now, I know there are some of you that are out there thinking, just get rid of it. My husband is like that, but clearly I'm not, or we would not be having this conversation. And if this process makes it easier for me, what's the harm? I have seen so many influencers say, don't overthink it, just let it go. But for some of us, probably because of the guilt, it's just not that simple. And if you get it, you get it. Honestly, I think this whole attachment to stuff might be genetic. My mom was a pack rat. She lived through the Great Depression, and I think that had a lot to do with it. She loved her stuff, and I think that mindset just stuck with her. My sister, who passed, was also, let's just say, a pack rat. She had a lot more stuff. And while I get it, I also know that I don't want to feel weighed down by things. I don't want to be stuck holding on to stuff just because it belonged to someone I loved. I want to hold on to the memories, not the clutter. Decluttering is not one size fits all. Some of us just get bogged down in the process. We watch all these YouTube videos from different perspectives and different mindsets, and we think we have to do it that way. Or wait, this way is better. Or no, oh my God, even her way is even better. I had to figure out my mindset, what works for me. Getting rid of all the crap isn't going to be convenient or end without putting things in a landfill. It is what it is. I had to come to that realization and be okay with it and just do better moving forward. I don't want to be a minimalist, it's not all or nothing. I can have a warm, cozy, decluttered house that I love and still have things hanging on the walls, still have things I love but don't need. My goal is to change my mindset, my spending habits, and my relationship with stuff, and just simplify my space. I want to live with intention and think before I buy. I don't want to leave this stuff for my kids to deal with someday. I saw all of my parents' stuff, and I don't want to do that to my kids. That doesn't mean I have to get rid of everything for the sake of just owning less. Some things might be worth keeping to me. Like, do I need all the Marvel movies on DVD or Blu-ray? No. Do I want them? Yes. Eventually, I may not subscribe to a streaming platform where I can watch them. Let's face it, we all cut the cable cord to save some money, but then we subscribe to multiple streaming platforms that are costing us just as much. When it comes to buying things in the future, I don't need to overspend, but I won't buy cheap crap that falls apart, so I have to end up buying it twice. I'd rather buy the best that I can afford and have it last. I have already gotten more intentional with my buying, and it's easier for me to say no to trends or things I don't absolutely love. I once saw a quote that said something that applies to both decluttering and buying. If it's not a hell yeah, it's a no. And honestly, that mindset helps me because I really don't have a lot of hell yeahs. I also started applying the use it or lose it mentality to everything. not just my body and all of the, but all of the stuff in my house, and it does make it easier. That said, my brain still goes on these weird tangents like, what if there's an apocalypse and we lose Wi-Fi and the cloud? What happens to all my digital photos, my recipes, my entire life stored online? Then I'll need those books, these pictures, and all of it. You know, does anyone remember that show, Revolution? It only lasted a couple of seasons, but the whole premise was that the world lost power and everything electronic or digital was gone. And my paranoid brain, oh, it hyperfixates on things like that. And while we're at it, if we're talking full on apocalypse, will the zombies be slow like in The Walking Dead or fast like World War Z? Because if they're fast, my survival odds just drop dramatically. So why am I even worried about this? This is my problem. This is where my brain goes when I'm trying to purge. I can't just get rid of something. I have to go down a full existential rabbit hole. What is wrong with me? Talk about ADHD and avoidance taking center stage. But let's be real, if that actually happened, whether or not I kept my spiralizer or my DVD collection would be the least of my worries. Anyway, I digress. The point of this is decluttering is hard, but it's doable and it's personal. And when we realize that, the pressure loosens. A light bulb goes off and I think it just clicks and the motivation hits. At least it has for me. And I'm kind of looking forward to this. Honestly, it's about ease of living with intention, making things easier on my family, and just enjoying my home again. If you are struggling with decluttering, I promise you, you are not alone. Tell me your thoughts. Am I wrong? Is it just me who thinks this way? I would love to know your thoughts on this. Drop them in the comments, or if you would, just give me a, you got this, and I did it, and if I did it, so can you. Your motivation is necessary and very much appreciated. If you actually made it this far, I'm a little surprised and very appreciative. Thanks for watching and offering advice and motivation if you chose to. Take care, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye.